We have a very interesting topic to discuss today. The two accusation, or Gogu to the extreme path, as it's also called. This topic revolves around the origins of the organized crime syndicate in Japan, often referred to as the Japanese Mafia. The history of the Yakuza can be traced back to the Edo period, starting in 1603. During the Edo period, the organization was founded by the lower classes in Japanese society, those who engaged in activities like gambling, usury, trafficking in live meat, and, to a lesser extent, some samurai who fell out of favor. As we remember from previous discussions about their history, in 1603, the samurai lost much of their land and had to offer their services as defenders of wealthy lords or peasant communities in exchange for protection fees. Others took on the role of providing protection or carrying out attacks against inhabitants of poorer provinces. The name Yakuza comes from a card game called Oicho Kabu, which is similar to blackjack. In this game, the 8 to 9 hand, known as a very poor hand, could only be understood by experienced players. Over time, two main groups formed in Japan, known as Takeyashi and Bakao. These groups became involved in managing stolen goods and prostitution, gradually gaining power and influence. By 1690, the Yakuza was officially recognized as a public organization, with its leaders granted the right to carry swords. The Bakudo group, part of the Yakuza, was composed of individuals who worked with dead animals in glue factories or in the funeral industry. These people were generally despised by the rest of society. From 1603 until 1868, the Yakuza had two main branches, one responsible for advanced operations and the other responsible for guard and security. The Yakuza was led by a supreme chief, assisted by senior advisors, and their groups operated independently across various regions in Japan. A distinctive practice among mafia groups was the cutting off of a segment of the little finger as a symbol of loyalty to the organization. If a member failed to repay a debt to a superior, it was customary to sever the first phalanx of the little finger and present it as a gesture of regret and obligation. If the debt continued, the little finger could be fully amputated. This act was sometimes offered to a leader as a sign of obedience. With the restoration of the Meiji Emperor and the abolition of feudalism in 1868, the Yakuza underwent significant changes. Members began tattooing their bodies with unique designs, allowing identification of the group they belonged to. It became common for members to tattoo rings around their forearms to signify crimes they had committed. Under the leadership of a supreme figure, the Yakuza continued to expand its influence. Senior members appointed a small group of trusted advisors who played crucial roles in managing the organization. These advisors were often lifelong members and could include professionals such as lawyers, doctors, or workers in security. They were referred to as slippers due to their significant, yet often subtle, influence. The guards and security personnel, also known as slippers, carried out the orders of the higher-ups. Although no longer mandatory, cutting off the little finger of the left hand is still practiced as a sign of obedience or as a way to seek forgiveness from a boss. To recruit new members, the gangs often target school children and prisoners from common law backgrounds. The Mafia supports and encourages over 500 youth groups, each consisting of approximately 1,000 teenagers. These groups are difficult for authorities to control because of their growing influence. The Mafia's recruitment process is based on a concept inspired by Busium, which involves a guardianship relationship. A member assumes responsibility for a novice, guaranteeing their safety and guiding them through the organization's ways. This relationship is called Gakudo, where a mentor or father looks after their subordinates. Japanese society functions on a pyramid-like structure where members are connected through kinship ties. This concept of spiritual guardianship is closely linked with traditional values. Each mentor instills in their subordinates a sense of duty toward their family, superior, and organization. The core virtue behind this structure is the concept of giri, duty. It emphasizes loyalty to the group, keeping one's word, and fulfilling one's role to the fullest. Although it might be difficult to believe, even within mafia groups, there's a notion of honor. The connection to honor and the ancient codes of Japanese society are deeply ingrained. Just as a samurai held the honor of their master above all else, mafia members also view loyalty as a key tenet. Life itself is often considered too small a sacrifice to restore lost honor. This mindset reinforces a strong sense of belonging, where a person's life revolves around being part of a group under the guidance of a superior. What distinguishes the Yakuza from other mafia organizations globally is its visibility. Unlike other secretive groups, the Yakuza operates openly, with offices, businesses, and media control. Articles about the life of the organization regularly appear in newspapers and magazines. Besides its traditional illegal activities, gambling, prostitution, drug trafficking, and weapons dealing, the Yakuza has expanded its influence into legitimate sectors. They have been involved in large construction projects, such as international airports, and also manage art galleries in major cities, participating in art trafficking as part of their broader activities. Between World War II and the 1990s, the Japanese Mafia infiltrated all levels of Japanese society, becoming indispensable and holding significant influence over the economy. It reached its peak of development in 1960, when it was estimated to have over 200,000 members. The actions of 1995 and 2011 are notable, especially after the earthquake in Japan. During these times, the organization became involved in providing aid to victims. It opened refugee offices and sent dozens of trucks filled with essential supplies. Today, it is accused of involvement in the real estate market, drug trafficking, human trafficking, protection rackets, gambling, and arms trafficking. Moreover, it is known for making massive investments in strategic companies by purchasing shares. The organization also has a significant international presence, especially in the United States and Hawaii, engaging in smuggling operations. It operates through several countries, including Thailand, the Philippines, Vietnam, South Korea, China, and Taiwan, and has a controlling interest in sex tourism. In 1992, the Japanese government launched a strong offensive against organized crime, enacting laws that declared the Yakuza organization illegal. Some of the organization's leaders, as well as over 3,000 members, were arrested. Since then, the state has made efforts to reduce the number of mafia members, offering psychological counseling and protection for those wanting to leave the organization. They have established programs that help former members find work in various sectors of the economy. However, progress in this area is slow, mainly due to the loyalty and honor tied to the principle of oyabun, or the master-disciple relationship, which keeps many members from leaving. Many of these members joined the Yakuza at a young age and grew up within the structure, so they cannot imagine life outside of it and thus choose to stay. It is estimated that the organization currently has approximately 90,000 active members. The Yakuza is led by four major families. The Yamaguchi-gumi, the largest family, founded in 1915, with around 39,000 members divided into 750 clans. It operates primarily in the Kansai region, and its leader is currently Kenichi Shinoda. Sumiyoshi Rengo, a federation of clans with 10,000 members, led by Toshifumi Ueda. Inagawa-kai, with approximately 7,400 members across 313 clans. This family is based in Tokyo, specifically in the Yokohama area, and is led by Tadamasa Goto. Izuka Tetsukai, led by Takashi Araki. This family operates across the Tokyo area with more than 1,000 members divided into 6 clans. They also have a significant number of members of Korean origin. Belgian photographer Anton Koester spent months inside a Japanese mafia organization and recounts his experience in a book titled Tokyo Accused, where he describes the modern Yakuza members as well-dressed individuals, often seen with expensive cars and the latest technology, resembling corporate professionals rather than traditional criminals. One of the most spectacular stories is of a former member who left the organization. This individual, the leader of an Italian gang, was responsible for the largest drug operation in Japan. After avenging the death of his brother, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Upon release, he was influenced by one of his mistresses and eventually left the Yakuza, later founding the Barabasa Protestano Mission in 1995, a group of 8 former gangsters. He claims that anyone can change their life, but only God can truly change a person. His story was turned into a film titled Jesus Is My Boss, produced by fellow missionary Toshio Nakajima. The Japanese Mafia has also inspired numerous film productions, such as Kurosawa's Yakuza, 1975, Black Rain, 1989, and Interest, 2005. The Yakuza and its culture are also referenced in the 2018 animated film Parker and the video game series Yakuza launched in 2005. Today, the Yakuza continues to be a fascinating subject of interest, with many things left unsaid about its inner workings and influence. In conclusion, the history of the Japanese Mafia, or Yakuza, is a fascinating and complex tale of how a criminal organization emerged from the depths of Japanese society, infiltrated key areas of the economy, and became an integral part of Japan's culture. From its origins in the Edo period, consisting of marginalized groups such as gamblers and outcast samurai, to its powerful presence in the post-World War II era, the Yakuza has not only influenced Japan's criminal underworld, but also left a significant impact on its economy, politics, and popular culture. The Yakuza operates on principles deeply rooted in honor, loyalty, and duty, which are reminiscent of traditional samurai values. Despite the modern-day crackdown by the government, the organization's ability to adapt and maintain control over various sectors, ranging from real estate to entertainment, remains evident. The rise of powerful families, such as the Yamaguchi-gumi and Sumiyoshi Rengo, reflects the Yakuza's ability to persist and thrive in a society that often turns a blind eye to their activities. While the Yakuza has undoubtedly caused harm and engaged in illegal activities, it has also played a role in shaping Japan's history, from assisting in disaster relief efforts to influencing films, books, and video games. Despite efforts to dismantle it, the organization's lasting influence serves as a reminder of the complex relationship between crime, culture, and society in Japan. The Yakuza's story, full of loyalty, betrayal, and ambition, continues to captivate the world, offering a glimpse into a world that, though largely hidden, remains ever present in the fabric of Japanese society.